West economy loses over 10 million rand annually to illegal gambling, as revealed by Financial Intelligence Centre report. This loss prevents the government from collecting levies, taxes and revenue that could aid job creation as well as socio-economic development. Meanwhile, the Northwest Gambling Board has granted Sunbet a bookmaker license to operate at Sun City in Rustenburg, with the introduction of online betting expected to boost job opportunities, stimulate the provincial economy and also support small businesses. We've now roped in Boitumelo Qalinge, who's the acting CEO of the Northwest Gambling Board, for this discussion. Thank you so much, Boitumelo, for joining us today. So let's first unpack what exactly is referred to as an illegal gambling business or establishment.
No, thank you very much, and good afternoon to you and to the viewers. Well, illegal gambling, if I can just define it, it's just that it's illegal, it's gambling which is illegal, it's gambling which is happening at an unlicensed premises, and it's also a gambling that is happening, being given to children. So that is illegal gambling. So it's two for that.
You're talking about mrabaraba and other forms of gambling like cards, just as long as it's not registered with the gambling board.
Yes, that is true. You must recall that on the South Africa, we have 9 provinces, and which has each gambling board. So each gambling authority has its own rules and regulations to regulate gambling in their province. So in our province, we have also an act, the Northwest Gambling Act, which requires you to hold a license if you want to operate gambling, be it your bookmaker license or be it a casino or any other gambling. And we are trying to also increase the operations and also come in with new type of licenses.
Boitumelo, so I suppose the implications and the impact as well of illegal gambling are quite major. We understand that your province is losing about 10 million rand per annum via this practice. So this is quite frightening.
Yes, it is. And even 10 million is an estimation from the 2 previous years. Currently now it's way maybe higher than that. This is it's a serious problem. And together with South African Police Service, we are trying by all means to combat illegal gambling, because we have realized that this mushrooming and it is giving us a huge headache. The only people that also are feeling us somehow is the justice system, which maybe I don't think that they know a lot about illegal gambling. Also, our subs, we are there to help them, to teach them about illegal gambling so that they can identify these internet cafes which pretend like they are giving internet, but they are actually doing gambling in those premises. So people must know about these things, and it's very important that we are here now telling people about illegal gambling and telling the community that they must not participate in illegal gambling, because it will not even assist them as the community to grow. Because with all the licensed premises, that we have, we actually take away levies from them, which assist various communities which operations are carrying out.
Very interesting points you raised there, Boitumelo. How do you then identify an illegal gambling establishment? And 2, what are some of the requirements? I know you touched on it a little bit at the beginning of the interview, the requirements to obtain a license. And talk to us maybe about overall regulation of the sector. Does government have currently effective legislation in this regard?
All right, no, thank you very much. Yes. Well, if you get into your legal premises, legal operation, you are entitled as a citizen to request a license. In fact, it is the law that tells you that you must put your license and must be visible to anyone, to the public. So as a public member, you are entitled to ask if that place which is offering gaming is licensed. And if they don't have, then you should actually go to the police and report that to premises, because a license should be visible. Just like your driving license, if a police or a traffic officer stops you, you would want your license and you produce it. So what are the requirements to obtain a license? And when we issue out the different requirements, there is we call it, it's a request for application. anyone is allowed to who is interested to have that license. Just like now we have already opened and which has been showing on your news and bed. They have seen an application and they have submitted your application. If you see and you go to your notice and your gazette and your newspaper and you see that the gambling boards, different gambling boards, have different notices which offers new participants to enter the game of to enter these operations. You are more than welcome to fill in an application with the board. We'll see whether you comply with all the requirements, and after there will be a public hearing if there's any objections to that. After, if there's no any objections, then you are given a license to operate gambling, and will be given time to set out your shop and to open your shop. And we'll also see whether you comply also with, you have toilets and you have, you also have employment created, which is one of the conditions that we also have to check whether you have created employment, because that's what we are trying to do in when we are awarding this license, as we have conditions. So to touch on the last question that you just gave, yes, it is legislated. Regulations are there to really combat illegal gambling, and we're also trying to also now amend our act also to give our officers more powers than they had before.
Very interesting. Boitumelo, very quickly, we're almost out of time now. As often with big businesses that brings in big revenue, those that choose to go the illegal route will often blame government for not listening to their requests or processing their requests to legitimize the operations on time. Just how simple is the process of running a legal and certified gambling establishment, especially when competing against big industry names like, as we mentioned earlier, your new partner is Sunbet in Sun City?
It is quite very simple to apply for a license, and we are also trying to cut the red tape to match the gambling board, and with the new leadership of Mayor Peter and with the MEC for the economic development. What happens is that even if you are operating illegal and you want to go legal, you must approach the board. You must come to us and you must ask the board on what is the processes, how is the processes of applying for a new license. We will explain to you. A lot of people have come before us, and a lot of people have been asking us questions. It is so disheartening that a lot of people, like your other bookmakers, and you name them, different face lots, bonus lots, and I can name them. It's so painful that they have to pay levies, they have to pay application fees, they have to pay also employees. They are creating employment, they are complying to the conditions, and then you have the illegals who are not even paying anything, no levies, not whatsoever, nothing and whatsoever to make sure that they comply. They don't comply with anything. And what is said is that you don't even know where this money is going, and it can be used for a lot of criminal things.
Maybe how lucrative is the business of gambling, Boitumelo? I mean, you mentioned issues of job the creation of job opportunities within the sector.
Well, I can safely mention that the industry is very lucrative, and yes, a lot of money is being made for the government, especially in the whole of South Africa. We've seen that close to 400 billion was made through betting industry, and we have casinos also who are doing very well. And as you see now that people are going online, because of how easy it is to access your phone. So it's a very lucrative business, and we also invite a lot of different parties or different partners who want to invest in the gaming industry. They are more than welcome. Also those illegals who want to go, who want to be legalized, to approach us, and we'll give them information.
And a very quick one, Boitumelo, I'm not sure if this is going to be a practice that South Africa is going to look into. We know that Zimbabwe recently announced that they will be taxing the overall winnings of those people that actually get any remuneration through betting, because it has become some sort of a career for some people. Are we looking as South Africa in also going to this route to ensure that you do collect ultimately that revenue that you need to?
Yes, so what is happening currently, ma'am, and thank you very much for that question. What is happening currently is that one of the most important key things that we are doing as the regulators, we are collecting revenue for the province, for the different provinces. So what happens is that with the gross, we take 1% from gross meanings, that from legal operations, as you would know that we do not want to, we will not obviously go collect, revenue at illegal operations. So we are collecting revenue at various, various operations that conduct illegal gambling. Yes. So yes, we are doing that. It has been there, and that's why we are taking that, and it helps a lot, and it goes straight to the provincial fiscals, which assists in a number of things.
Boitumelo, thank you so much for your contributions this afternoon, Mr. Boitumelo Qalinge, the Northwest Gambling Board's acting CEO.